Welcome back to our Prehistoric Kingdom Park build, picking up right where we left off at the end of last episode with this little postscript edited in here, prescript edited in here. This is awful. I'm going to cut all of that. So Sibricus. Back to list, Psittaco, Sibricus, big spiky fella. All right, 1 male and 6 females. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6, and a male 7. Right. We could chuck those guys in with the trikes and the Ankies and see if they do good. Actually, let's check their stats. Psittaco, Sibricus. Sibiricus? Is it Siberia? I have no idea what the derivation of this name is. Sibiricus, I'm gonna go with. Maybe not. What was I checking? Oh yeah, environmental need. They are in fact coastal. I think they should be good to go then with the Yankees. This should be yet another coastal enclosure. Here. Somebody should be by the food. Well, I guess we can just do this. That is not coastal, is it? That is, wait. Is it actually tropical? I guess it is, huh? Is Maiasaur in the game? Nope. Maiasaur is not in this game. Are any of the Psittacos pro-tropical? No. I think we'll just chuck them in the... We could put them in the galley enclosure, maybe? Because the galley enclosure doesn't have any Psittacos. Yeah, this is coastal. That would work, I think. Although we got the bullies, of course, but maybe it'll be fine. So far, the bullies haven't actually killed anybody, I don't think. Speckles. Let's reach adolescence. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put the Sibricus in here. All right. So that is the intended adult populations basically for everything, more or less. Beth, what are you doing, Beth? You need to eat. You need to eat, Beth. I will take care of this. You're lucky I'm here. There's Nedry. Eat some Nedry. You're gonna die to starvation. There you go. Dig in. There's plenty of Nedry to go around. Cookie has reached adolescence. That's another galley. Yeah, this is probably a clutch of galleys all reaching adolescence here. Taco. Taco the... Wait, who's Taco? You're Taco. Taco the Gallimimus. Not a Psittacosaurus. It is a Gallimimus. All right, let's do a little check on logistics. It's kind of the last big thing to push. So, yeah, these numbers are still bad. Plants and meat and meals. Get an order in there. Employee check. So our boys and girls and staff they're all in the green. Nobody's too pissed. So that seems good to me. Let's get one of you, 2 keepers, 2 laborers. Call that good, maybe. Since I'm done, like, rebuilding everything, any money I have is just essentially excess. Which means that I can just afford to spend it on staff, theoretically. Making sure these are all set to max training. Because we might as well. I don't see any reason to min-max it. Okay. But then we got to deal with this. Visitor satisfaction nutrition. The only place they got hamburgers is over here. Sufficient hamburgers, at least. What the hell was it called? I'm trying to remember what the Jurassic one we have is. Well, let's just click on one. Fast food kiosk. That's it. Fast food kiosk. So we got one right there, and it is insufficient. So let's put one slightly down the hill somewhere. Like maybe here. The problem is this is a slope, and the path is very close. So maybe I put it like here. Do a little flatten action. Okay, there's a limit to what I can do with where the path was. So I have to leave the green strip in there, I guess, which I'll admit bothers me a bit. That also made everything worse. Let's just take it up a notch. Will that function? Asking the real questions. It's looking pretty elevated to me. Oh, they can walk on it. I think we call that good then. Sure. Okay. It'll take a little while for that to get stocked, which is the other problem. We might need a lot more laborers, actually, because, like, if I'm putting in more buildings, I'm just exacerbating the labor issues you already have. Another fast food kiosk down here. So this is already in a hole. That's awkward. Let's put this down here further, maybe. Yikes. So we can assume the corner has to be at a minimum aligned with the path. So something like that. So park, like, the building placement's going to be a little rough. It's definitely learned some important lessons in this park build about how to build aesthetically. But the large scale of this park build and, like, the effort put into the paths and fences makes me very hesitant to make the necessary changes to fully, you know, realize this park to its full potential. There's raptors and you. Why are you dying? You are starving, but you're on your way to food. Maybe. Yes. Wow, you ate a lot of food very fast. Goddamn. Greedy little fella. Ate that entire plate. Okay. Calm down with the dying already. Jesus, you're in the water. Why are you in the water? Why do you have too much water? Or no, you don't have enough water. Sorry. True. Get over out of the water. With your rot foot, presumably. No ringworms. One staff en route. Okay. The water might have been lost. At the river? In the back when I was working on it, maybe? Oops, I put super deep water in. Okay, you know what? It's fine. Let's just not do anything with this further. It's really just not worth the effort to implement more water. Although, like, looking at the river like this looks sick. The trees right up there, the actual, like, movement in the water. I love the movement in the water. The water in JWE feels so static. Like, my ideal version of what I would imagine this to be would be the water dynamically, like, having a flow to it in the direction of the river. Because you can see, like, the way the waves are kind of set up here. They just kind of flow into the side. They're not really flowing downriver, per se. But, like, this is still fantastic looking. I'm just talking magical, you know, who cares how hard it is to program fairy tale land. Disease discovered here. Ringworms treatable. Disease discovered here. That's the other ringworms. Eggs hatched. I forgot. Mary Cindy is now an adult. Parasaurs are adults. Elvis is now an adult. Presumably the eggs were the Admonosaurus eggs, maybe? No. Yes. Luna. Okay, wait. Are you your babies? Okay, let's start with Ulva. So Ulva is to Arcana. You know, it's easier just to do this. What am I doing? Why am I looking at them manually when I can just go here? So the surviving Edmontosauruses. So we had the original 4 Nectens, and we've gotten 1, 2, 3, the full 6. All 6 survived birth. That's great. So we've got 10 Paras, 10 Edmontos now. Cool. 32 issues. Holy smokes. Firecracker is dying. Maybe you should not be in the water. Maybe you should be up here. Immediately just sits down to fucking die. Alright, man. Have you considered doing anything to survive, possibly? You're not so big you need a different feeder, are you? Because I've actually never put in a tall feeder in the exhibit at all. I could put the tall feeder. I guess we'll just like put them in with the tree lines. Let's put a couple of them in, maybe. At this point. Even if it's completely premature, we might as well just get it in there. Yeah, see, you're going to eat, so I don't think it is a issue with them needing the tall feeder explicitly, currently. Alright, it's just an issue with, yeah, not eating. That's probably Chew, yeah. Firecracker. You gonna get up and do anything? No? Alright. Gassed well for issue nutrition 58%, but okay, this is showing blue, so I think that one is stocked and this one maybe isn't. I do see staff. Can we... No stock, no stock, no stock, no stock. Okay, well, good. Stock issues. That's expected. Plants are really needed. Meals are really needed. Here's meals. Fruit, I guess. Wait. Sure. Okay. Well, I think we just gotta let it run for a bit. Oh, this is kind of some bullshit here. Sophia died mid-treatment for silicosis, which is kind of rude. She was literally half recovered. We did it about as quickly as we could. I guess since we didn't have it research ahead of time, there's no way to save her, essentially. Because it's not obvious that you can, there's no obvious way to, heal it, force heal an animal up. So once it's already kind of dying, that's just, it. Which is unfortunate. I keep hiring more staff, hoping that welfare needs will get caught up on, but they don't. So we're going to have to continue in one more episode next time. Maybe it'll be a really short one as we get these animals grown up and get some final stuff into the park. But this episode's been way too long, so we gotta end it. So until next time. All right, picking up where we left off on a different day. We're gonna do some paleo veg for coastal, just to check it out more than anything. I think. Kind of got some time on our hands because we're just kind of sitting around waiting for some improvements with the animal populations to finish 5-starring. We're very close. We might as well do this in the meantime. And this is Conidopterus. Sure, there you go. Alright, stolen supplies, that's fine. Needs refill. 21 issues. I keep hiring people. This is still never really getting done. It's a little rough. Meals, merch, and plants. I'm hoping it'll catch up, but really not sure it's gonna. Alright, well, let's see. Okay, wait, what am I looking at? Individual plants is what this is? If you want to, do a specific? Oh, I didn't even know you could do this. Wait, you're, mix it, you can, make your own brush? Is that how this works? Hold on. Wait, this is sick. And if we take out the trees... Oh, that's awesome. That's very cool. You can get weird with it. That's a lot. That's very cool. That is a lot to do. Okay, so wait, these are still showing as locked though. So how does... Oh, because I need multiple things for each of the different brushes, maybe? Because I don't have all of them unlocked, so I can't do the brush until they're all unlocked. I think that's what's going on. That is my guess. Okay, these all seem to just be picking this one, so I'll just cram everybody in there. Truly is now an adult. Who is that? That's you. Bunique's eggs have hatched. Did they? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure they did. Maybe. Dying animal. Yeah, it's just a raptor. Okay, still not unlocked. So I guess I'm just going to be playing whack-a-mole on these, one at a time. Well, no, because this is a different one. Whatever. It's very cool, though. Bartholomew III is now an adult. Okay. That's probably my other... Yeah, my other... Cretocristatus. These are done. Okay. Interesting. Still not unlocked. Oh, why don't you go here? We'll crank your funding up, I guess. Why not? We have $1 million, so I suppose I can play around. Disease. Foot rot. Hooray. 1 staff en route. Okay, so ratings. Animal points is the thing we're waiting on. I don't know if we get a better breakdown of that somewhere. Just be curious to see where, like, some of those points are coming from. Because I'm kind of just operating under the idea that, like, the animals that are growing up are going to be worth more. Yeah, they definitely are. But to what degree? Well, I'm sure these, like, big ticket, like, theropods and stuff will help as they grow up. Yeah, it took us a while to get to 1 million on, like, a certain other game. It's kind of nice having to actually care. All right. Okay. A lot of things growing up. Let's go through these. Complete excavation. Samantha is now an adult. Who is Samantha? That's another para.
Use their tube-shaped crest as a snorkel, contrary to previous hypotheses. Nevertheless,
Suka?
the mental image
Ooh.
going snorkeling.
Adolescent stegosaurs. Very cool. Hell yeah. That's really... Psittacos are already catching up as well. I did put growth boosters in a lot of the feeders to try and get these animals to grow up quick and catch up to some of the other animals. The slow-growing ones especially, like the stegos and the new large theropods. I really do like these stegos quite a lot. Those are Psittacos. Okay, we've unlocked... Okay, some of the brushes are unlocked. Pausing. Okay, so if I do... Oh, problem is most of these enclosures actually have they're kind of at their limits. So it's kind of hard to actually add these after the fact. Yeah, so you're maxed on forest. Let's just take a look at the brushes. I think it's... I don't know how much these matter for anything. So some nice kind of fall-colored ones. Yeah, seasonal ginkgo. Okay. I mean, I definitely think the ginkgo fits well with the sauropod exhibit. Let's thread some in. Hell, if this area is already like fully treed or something, maybe this doesn't even matter. Like maybe I don't need to remove some to make up for this at all. Don't get in the raptor pen though. I think we're good. Okay, you're good on forest. It was the hadrosaurs were the ones that were kind of on the bubble. With one like just over the limit, one just under. Looks like Edmono is now over. And yeah, the paras are just over. So I think we do need to delete some trees to make up for this. Let's drop the intensity a little bit and maybe just thin out some of these. It's still a little too aggressive. Okay, there we go. Yeah, can I see a breakdown? Like, on the animal somewhere, maybe? Animal points, base rating, Leucistic mutation bonuses.
They're one of the most
Paleobotany, no bonus
animals
applied,
in the
milestone
fossil record,
bonus.
providing us with
So
a
does this not
wealth
get a
of
paleobotany
insight into
bonus
how they coped,
because
socialized and survived?
yeah, it's coastal. Yeah, I don't know. Could just maybe they need to interact with it in some way for there to be the bonus to be applied. Or maybe it's a in progress feature. Could be the case. All right, lots of stuff happening. Vandalism, animal growth, Saratania, another Citico. Pokey has a disease. Right, because you guys have too much water. You got jaundiced. Fine. Don't know if jaundice is connected to any particular failings with that exhibit, but let's hope not. Okay, another cataracted raptor. It's always the raptors. I think it's either just because of the fact that they have they're quick to grow up, maybe, but also maybe they're vulnerable to cataracts or something. I have no idea. Claire has something. That's the stego, foot rot, staff, and root. Adolescence on a Citico and adolescence on a Citico. Okay. And we now got the Cretaceous Prairie. You know what? Let's do some of this in here.
Just looking at its face, you might not realize that this was one of the first ceratopsians. It may lack a frill and forward-projecting horns, but you can still see the resemblance in its strong beak and its cheek horns.
Still nothing there with paleo. Just finished the Jurassic Park the game playthrough, and I see you weren't stupid. The rap room was difficult for you. Yeah, I can agree with that. Wait, why are you? Oh yeah, because you don't like coastal anyway. Well, that's your problem. Yeah, you're just gonna suffer. Okay, so that doesn't count as forest. That's just like prairie or something. So, well, I mean, literally it is prairie, but I mean like open area or whatever. It doesn't penalize anything. I love that everybody's eating from this one plant. Holy shit, guys. This is like the best plant ever. There's 4 of you just dogpiling that one plant. Let's put some of this in some open areas and some of these other exhibits. Like this one. Is this coastal, actually? Yes. You need the Mazarit? What? I don't know what you mean. Or is paleobotany like an all or none? Like, do you have to fully commit and only use paleo plants to get a bonus? Still adds a good vibe having some of these different, more exotic looking plants around. Shared time period. Okay, I need to check why I have 38 negative notifications.
There's been simulations in the past that tried to reconstruct how they could have sounded, but nothing quite compares to the real thing.
Disease on an Anki. Ear infection recovering. Dakota is an adult. You're a Spinifer. Kala is an adult. Another Spinifer. Okay. Lots of dying animals flagged here. What is your problem? You are dying here by a food bowl that is unfilled. Okay. Call the staff in. Get him in here. Claire. Probably the same thing. Hunger. I guess I don't have another... Oh yeah, there's another food dish over there, but it's also depleted. I think. Yeah, just a small one. Okay. Thomas. Hungry and thirsty because you've wandered all the way over here. Well, we can at least fix Thomas's problems by getting him over there. The raptors I'm not going to worry about. Barry. Yeah, that's just that problem with this exhibit having run out of food altogether. It's a nice forest to see that Styrac walking through there. The ferns and stuff. Alright, well, anyway, 37 notifications. Holy smokes. I gotta just keep hiring staff, I guess. We have 22 laborers and 30 keepers. I'm just gonna go to like 40? I don't know if this is absurd, but I feel like I can afford to with my $1 million, so I might as well. Alright, I think I'm just going to keep hiring staff until these issues are covered. Alright, I had to reload because Claire died. I've gone ahead and stole a food dish with the food from the galley exhibit, dragged it over here to make sure they're fed, and then replaced it with a fresh one in the galley exhibit. So there's a hot tip for you. If you ever have an animal imminently dying of starvation and you can't figure out a way to save it because your staff won't get there in time, you can teleport food dishes around the park. Is there a campaign in this? I think scenarios are planned or something like that. Currently, no. Right, there's just essentially this. I think there's also like a franchise mode or something like that that's supposed to be coming, I think. Sorry, what are you... Ear infection recovering. Okay, you're fine. Pokey. Yeah, this is back when this happened. Okay, well, anyway. Yeah. I don't know the issues with the staff. Because if I actually look at my park info here for the staff, a lot of them show as idle. Like, the vast majority of these keepers show as idle, despite the fact that, like, nothing is stocked. Same with the laborers. Like, I got a bunch of laborers on idle, even though I have other things that are unstocked. Well, maybe, yeah, it's all kiosk stuff. So, like, why is every laborer in the park idle? One staff en route. So I think, here's my theory. I think idle might mean they're on their way to a thing, not that they're literally not doing anything. That's just a theory. I don't know if that's true. It's a question. It's a good question. If anybody knows, sound off in the chat. Well, there's our large quarantine bay. The first time we've actually needed it for Bartholomew III. Is being brought over as we speak. All right, 22 logistical issues in the park with the staff. Okay, some of them are definitely shown as restocking. A lot of these show as idle, but I do believe they may be traveling between things. So, the question becomes, I have 40 keepers. Do I need still more? Like, I don't know. Okay. Oof. Looking real rough there, dude. I love the visual indications of disease. That adds so much to the vibe. It makes you really feel the disease. Okay. Adolescence on Cyberkiss. These are probably the other Cyberkisses. With an animal pregnancy on Istu. That's another in Montosaurus. You guys are constantly laying eggs. Damn. After 1,000 years, adolescent brockies. They ain't up to a good size quite yet, but they're getting there now, finally. Uh-oh. Died from a tooth abscess. Well, just a pachycephalosaur. That's probably fine. We've got a few of those. Nothing irreplaceable like a brachiosaur, so I'm not going to worry about it. You're still recovering in quarantine. All right, it's coming along. All right, adolescent trike, so they're finally coming in. I like that they lined up exactly with the platform on the edge of the JPOG feeder. That's very fun. See, Bella. Yeah, so all the trikes are there. The Prorsus and Horridus, right? No, those are all the Prorsus. We have 8 trikes. I forgot. One affliction's been found in the big one. Yeah, the affliction was death. I guess I did miss that. That was a pop-up, apparently. Ralph has reached adolescence. Yeah. Okay, that is one of the Horridus, right, with the blue. Cool. Love seeing him grow up. Very cool stuff. Now, if only this would stop being the worst. 28 park issues. No stock. I don't know if clicking these buttons helps anything. They're just perpetually problems. Just hire more people. Maybe someday it'll make sense and work. And we'll get caught up. Maybe not. Well, we're very, very, very close to our 5-star threshold. So we just need another 15,000 points on the animals, which is basically just going to be growing up and breeding. Well, the Allosaurs are adolescents now, so that's fun. Pokey and Hokey. Coming along nicely. Even if they insist on swimming. I assume the Anax is still a little feathery guy, because I haven't seen him pop up. Not that there he is. I like his little stance. Dramatic camera angle of leaves. Oh, probably close. Dying animal. Yep. Yep. Washed out to sea, huh? You're pretty close. Cindy. Okay, great. That's done. Cool. 31.3. We're so close. 97% visitor satisfaction's good. That gets me a little bit out of the worry zone of where I was feeling like I might not be able to maintain that. Fresh baby parasaurs. I think these are actually the first time we've had naturally hatched parasaurs in the park. Or at least walker eyes. Disease discovered. It never ends. Vaccines would be good. I do like vaccines as a mechanic where, you know, in the late game of like a JWE park, you don't need to deal with disease as much because you vaccinated for the major ones. It takes the stress off of having to constantly click these buttons and stuff. Because it's not like it's particularly difficult to manage most of these diseases. It's just time consuming. Okay, we're at 3,000 away. Very close. I feel like vaccines would be beneficial here. You know what? Did I even check to see if maybe there were? Because these are all treatments, but does anything... Auto quarantine? Yeah, none of these are like vaccines. Well, let's grab, I guess, a couple of these while I'm just staring at this screen. I might as well. Oops. Not that we've had these come up at any point, but, you know. Sepsis. Meningitis? Sure. You wouldn't want to get that. Rabies? We're not doing rabies, obviously, because they're dinosaurs. They don't get rabies. Auto quarantine range. Huh. Sure. Alright. So close. We did it. 5 stars. New loans and silence seems to have been unlocked. That seems unnecessary. Alright. Challenge mode done. We 5-starred with the Jurassic Park. It would be nice to see some of the animals grown up, but this has gotten a little tedious in terms of logistics. definitely recommend not building such a wide, sprawling park. At least not without a better understanding of like work zones and stuff, maybe, or just how to better manage like the physical flow of staff in your park. Um, because this is a little rough logistically. Yes, we do have a Tyrannosaurus. This is our Tyrannosaur paddock here. Here's the cliff where you where the car falls down. And the Tyrannosaur itself is still a little guy, unfortunately. There she is. There's Rexy swimming in the water. Definitely should have probably tried to get like the Rex and Brockies and stuff out right away, I guess, but like there's like the money was definitely in an interesting situation where like it was really hard to push anything for the longest time, and then you kind of just tip over on a threshold where you kind of just have the money, you're just waiting for like the points to come in. So that was it's an interesting look. Research is done. That doesn't matter. All right. Well, I think we can probably leave this one off here, maybe.